Hello and welcome to Nationwide on the Nigerian Television Authority. I am Kendi Olale. Thanks for joining us. And we begin with the All Progressives Congress Governors Forum, which has conferred an honor on President Muhammadu Buhari for his true leadership, commitment to good governance, fight against corruption and security of lives and property. President Muhammadu Buhari assured the forum and Nigerians that the award is appointed to do more and is determined to consolidate on this achievement in the next 4 years.
I view this award as a reflection of the collective commitment of the states and federal government to work harmoniously to find solutions to the developmental challenges facing our country. Economic growth and competitiveness of nations depends on the harmonious collaboration of all the tiers of government, particularly in a federal setup like ours. Hence, against the backdrop of the challenges we have been passing through as a nation, arising from past economic and political mismanagement, we must feel justifiably proud to have contributed actively in getting Nigeria back on track in the last 4 years in human and infrastructure development.
Ekiti, Borno, Nasarawa, Ogun, Osun, Oyo, Yobe, and Zamfara states were also recognized for their contributions to national development. Marching order has been given to Nigerians and law enforcement agencies to as a matter of urgency for restore public confidence in governance. President Muhammadu Buhari, who gave the order, described the prevailing state of fear and uncertainty and apprehension in the nation's security situation as disturbing and intolerable. This was at a strategic meeting with service chiefs and heads of other security agencies in his office. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo has details.
This crucial meeting in response to the prevailing challenges of security in parts of the country is the second to be summoned by President Muhammadu Buhari in 48 hours. In attendance were the Minister of Defense, the National Security Advisor, service chiefs led by the Chief of Defense Staff, Chief of Defense Intelligence, Acting Inspector General of Police, as well as Director General of the Department of State Services and the National Intelligence Agency. For about 3 hours behind closed doors, the security chiefs gave account of their various initiatives and interventions to either nip in the bud potential threats to security or confront the various criminal elements now threatening the peace and stability of the country.
We recall that after the last meeting, various operations were set up, Puff Ada being one of such strategies. There had been a remarkable drop in the number of kidnappings. What normally would attract attention is when the key person in government or perhaps is kidnapped. But on the whole, the number of kidnappings has dropped, and generally I think the security situation is improving as well.
For President Muhammadu Buhari, the continuous public outcry over the security situation in the country is a matter of serious concern. The security agencies, he insists, must do whatever it takes towards restoring sense of security across the land and public confidence in governance.
He has also given directives that the agencies do much more to ensure that Nigerians go to bed and wake up feeling healthy and confident that their security is guaranteed.
Any update on the kidnapped district head of Daura in Katsina State?
Of course, serious efforts are being made. Key suspects have been arrested, and it is hoped that in a short while, those behind that heinous crime will be brought to book.
During the meeting, issues relating to the proliferation of small arms and light weapons, as well as its consequences on national security, were thoroughly analyzed and far-reaching measures adopted in the interest of the country. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
Still on security matters, troops on exercise Arabin Kunama 3 have arrested a logistics supplier for bandits operating between Jibia Bashari axis. A statement by Acting Director, Army Public Relations, Colonel Gashio Musa, indicates that the suspect was arrested at Kashaba village in Jibia local government area of Katsina State. Similarly, based on a tip-off, troops of 311 Artillery Regiment conducted a raid on a suspected facility in Kwatangora village township where a local weapons fabricator was arrested. In another encounter following credible information, troops from 1 division garrison raided a kidnapper's hideout, killed 2, and recovered 2 AK-47 rifles in an abandoned farmhouse in Gonan Baturi, east of Rijana and Kashamari in Kuchun local government area of Kaduna State. While troops of 6th Division discovered illegal refining sites at Oyakuma community, Adoa West local government area of River State, and arrested 2 suspected oil bunkers, while 2 pipelines vandals and illegal oil bunkers were intercepted along Sapele Warri Road in Sapele local government area of Delta State. The Nigeria Police Force says it is deploying modern technologies as well as working with members of the public to mitigate any criminal activities in the country. The Acting Inspector General of Police, Mohammed Adamu, stated this during a meeting with officers in charge of the Special Anti-Robbery Squad and Anti-Kidnapping at the force headquarters in Abuja. Doing Dia reports.
This is the first meeting of the Acting Inspector General of Police, Mohammed Adamu, with the officers in charge of the Special Anti-Robbery Squad and Anti-Kidnapping Unit of the force. A couple of issues are on the table to be addressed, part of which came as a charge and a riot act on indiscipline and the abuse of firearms, some of which have led to the killings of innocent citizens.
These unprofessional actions have led to lack of confidence and trust in the police, and this impact on our crime prevention capacity. And any officer that is involved in extrajudicial killing and abuse of power will be held accountable for his or her action and risks losing his job and facing criminal prosecution.
It was then time to revisit the security architecture in the country. The trend of crimes which has caused Nigerian sleepless nights, the acting IGP says, called for a rejig of tactics. And so the deployment of some modern technologies, such as closed-circuit cameras across major cities, is needed. The police boss says efforts are in top gear to recruit locals for intelligence gathering for effective community policing. In a related development, 4 Chinese nationals who were recently kidnapped on the 15th of April 2019 in Mobile, Niger State, were safely and successfully rescued on the 5th of May from a forest in Birnin Gwari, Kaduna State. In Abuja, Doing Dia, NTA News.
Although Nigerians express optimism that community policing can improve internal security, they however raise concerns about absence of monitoring and evaluation mechanism to check inherent abuse. In this regard, guests on Good Morning Nigeria call for modification of the existing structural framework in the police force to deepen in implementation of the concept. Alika Okpanachi Arua reports.
The concept of community policing has always been desirable, considering the value it confers on internal security. Regardless, the fear of many Nigerians is about implementation and likely abuse of power. It is for these reasons that few states in Nigeria are implementing the concepts, But recent presidential directive for a nationwide implementation of community policing has generated more public reaction. Guests on Good Morning Nigeria are, however, optimistic about the impact of community policing on internal security, but caution on the implementation framework.
Community policy is giving back to the community the power to police itself, whereas the police as an institution, enforces the law itself.
From experience, Nigerians are willing to participate. You just need the opportunity to participate. And one of the things we've done under the Nigerian policing program over the past 2 years has been introducing the concept of development of a state policing plan.
Establishment of an evaluation mechanism tops the recommendation.
Community policing can work once you understand the philosophy of let there be priority for security and safety concerns of the people at the local level, and therefore respond to it.
It's not only the responsibility of the police to manage quote-unquote community policing. Several stakeholders, including several security organizations, the government itself, members of the society, civil society organizations, our development partners will have to come in.
The guests also stressed on the need for community policing personnel to be trained to be responsive and accountable to the community. In Abuja, Alika Opanachi, Arua, NTA News.
Traditional rulers in Benue State who fail to quell conflict in their domains will henceforth face various degrees of punishment. Governor Samuel Otom stated this at the swearing-in of 2 High Court judges for the Benue State Judiciary, which held at the Government House, Makurdi. Correspondent Bem Aya reports.
The governor's riot act to traditional rulers is coming against the backdrop of the protracted crisis between the Agila people of Ado local government area of Benue State and their Ebonyi State neighbors, which led to the beheading of 4 persons recently. Governor Otom said the second-class chief of Agila has the option of producing the perpetrators of the crime or face suspension and eventual prosecution. While administering the oath of office to the 2 judges-elect, Mrs. Masawangi Odinya and Mr. Ibrahim Mohammed, the governor commended judges for the invaluable role they play in the society. He called on the National Judicial Service Commission to review the salaries of judges as he pledged his commitment to the separation of powers, as well as the determination to assist the judicial arm of government at all times.
Since the discipline, payment of salaries and allowances of judges, amongst others issues, are being centrally controlled by National Judicial Service Commission, it is logical that the pensions of retired state judges too be handled by it.
We are grateful for the support and friendship of our brother judges, all serving and retired.
Until their appointments, the 2 were directors in the Benue State Judiciary. In Makurdi, Bem Hanya, NTA News.
It's time to join Jennifer in Lagos for latest stories happening in that zone. Hello, Jennifer.
Thank you, Kendi. Welcome to Lagos. Now, bodies of 2 bureau de change operators who were kidnapped about 2 months ago in the Ikorodu area of Lagos have been exhumed for autopsy. Jessica Moses reports that 2 other corpses were also discovered in the septic tank where the strangled victims were deposited.
It was 14th of March 2019 in Ikorodu. 2 bureau de change operators, Musa Yakubu from Kebbi State and his colleague Umaru Hassan, were invited through telephone call for a transaction which unknowingly to them would be their last. They were kidnapped and stripped of $10,000 and families forced to pay ransom to the tune of 1.6 million naira.
After doing the transaction, they kidnapped my dad and now called them that we should pay 1.6 if we want them to release my dad. Instantly, my brother did the transfer, 1.6 that same night.
They just tied them, sellotape on their hands and their mouths. So that is how they killed them. So they just carried them and threw them to that soccer wing.
It was a shocking discovery to find out on arriving the venue of the callous act for both the police and team of pathologists to find out that 2 other corpses were hidden in a septic tank in the abandoned premises.
We are looking at the building and we are looking at more places. We are seeing more clothes. We have found more clothes. That means we are likely to have more victims that were killed in this place.
It is also highly disappointing to find out that the abandoned premises is situated adjacent to a functional tomato factory in Odogunyo in Ikorodu. The abandoned hectares of fenced premises has for years served as a hideout for the evildoers. In Lagos, Jesuito Moses, NTA News.
Now, the information communication technology sector contributes about 11% to the nation's GDP. And key players say the nation has a large number of youngsters with untapped skills in ICT, which is why the continent is yet to be at par with her contemporaries. To turn the tide is why the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry is organizing the 5th edition of Information Communication Technology Expo. Amakaowo reports.
Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry says the Information Communication Technology Expo 2019, scheduled to hold from the 16th to 17th July, will provide opportunities for technology startups to network, imbibe latest trends in ICT.
We want to look at where we are. What are those things that are inhibiting our achieving our potentials, where we should be.
The theme of the expo is the 4th Industrial Revolution, the Nigerian story.
We in this expo want to bring the larger community face to face with this reality of artificial intelligence, how it's now affecting domestic and industrial life.
But we are creating a platform for our youth, the startup, so that they'll be able to express themselves. And those who need to discover them will be available to know where to invest.
Organizers and other key players say mechanisms are in place to evaluate success stories after the expo, as discoveries will be considered in the process of policy making in Nigeria, like the inclusion of new models of ICT in schools' curriculum.
I want to leverage our very strong impact and effect in public policy advocacy to ensure that we get the curriculum to be in alignment with what is contemporary.
The Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry assured key players of increasing efforts towards assembly and local production of ICT infrastructure in the country. In Lagos, Amaka O, NTA News.
Now, those are the stories from Lagos at this hour. Nationwide continues after this commercial break. Stay with us.
The management of the Nigeria Television Authority, NTA, Federal Radio Corporation of Nigeria, FRCN, and Voice of Nigeria cordially invites the general public to the 14th edition of the annual Ramadan lecture, which will inshallah hold on Saturday, 18th May 2019. The topic is Tolerance in Islam, to be delivered by Sheikh Muhammad Nuruddin Lemu, Director of Research and Training, Dawah Institute of Nigeria Islamic Education Trust, Mina, Niger State. The venue for the event is Lumana Multipurpose Hall, River Road, Jabi Road East, Ngorimi Jari, Kaduna by 9 a.m. Under the distinguished chairmanship of Lamido of Adamawa, His Royal Highness Muhammad Barkindo Aliyu Mustafa. The chief host is His Excellency Malam Nasr Ahmed El-Rufai, the Executive Governor of Kaduna State. Royal Father of the Day is His Royal Highness Alhaji Dr. Show Idris, CFA, Emir of Zazzau. The host, Malam Yakubin Muhammad, Director General of Nigeria Television Authority, Malam Mansur Liman, Director General of Federal Radio Corporation of Nigeria, and Dr. Osita Okechukwu, Director General of Voice of Nigeria. Announcer Organizing Committee, you are welcome.
NTA Television College Jos announces admissions into 2-year diploma programs in film and television production, television engineering, and broadcast journalism. The sale of forms will commence on the 13th of May and run through 30th July 2019. Admission forms can be obtained from all marketing offices, NTA state capital stations, zonal centers, or at the office of the academic secretary, NTA Television College, Rayfield, Jos.
On payment of a non-refundable fee of 7,500 naira in bank draft in favor of
NTA TV College. Applicants can also obtain the forms through the NTA TV College portal at www.ntatvc.edu.nj.
Applicants are required to possess 5 credits in GCE or SSCE in relevant areas of study in not more than 2 sittings, including English and mathematics. All properly completed forms attached with photocopies of credentials must be submitted on or before 30th July 2019. For further inquiries, please visit our website at ntatvc.com or call 0803 3144 383.
NTA TV College, training you to be the best you want to be.
It's the grand finale of the Trophy 5-a-side tournament coming up on the 11th of May 2019 at the Campus Mini Stadium in Lagos Island. Over 3,000 fans across the country will have a chance to win a raffle ticket for an all-expense-paid trip to Tanzania to be won by 4 lucky winners. Catch it all live on NTA Network, Kwese TV on UHF 32 and Channel 290 on your Kwese decoder. You can also download the Kwese iFlix on your mobile devices to stream live and get every bit of the action. Trophy 5-a-side Field of Honor, brought to you by Kwese Free Sports, the official broadcast partners.
You can follow us on all our social media platforms: Facebook at NTA Network News, Instagram at NTA Network, Twitter at NTA News Now, YouTube at NTA News Online. Or visit www.nta.ng. For live streaming, visit www.nta.ng/live. Now, you can stay updated on the go, be it on your TV, iPhone, laptop, or iPad, or download the NTA mobile application from your Play Store or App Store. NTA, you can beat the rich.
When you hear that sound, you know that Nigeria's most authentic newscast is about to begin. NTA Network News, breaking the news for over 40 years.
Thank you for staying with us. In yet another effort towards improving the welfare of inmates and the Nigerian prison service, some operational vehicles and facilities have been inaugurated at the headquarters of the service in Abuja. Victor Azu reports.
Delay in justice dispensation in Nigeria is attributed to many factors. Late arrival or even non-appearance of prison inmates to court is one of them. The reason is usually because of inadequate operational vehicles by the Nigerian prison service to convey inmates. However, this scenario is changing with ongoing reforms. The Minister of Interior arrives to a guard of honor at the Nigerian prison service. It's another busy day. He is here to inaugurate 115 operational vehicles and other facilities meant to improve the capacity of the Nigerian prison service. The minister recognizes the value these facilities confer on the prison staff and inmates' relationship.
We have shifted focus from the crime to the criminal. We are not looking at the fact that somebody violated a particular law and he must be punished for it. But we are also looking at the way that this person is a human being and he has the capacity to change.
The driver of the initiative, Controller General of Prisons, Jafaru Ahmed, says the inauguration is part of ongoing reforms to deepen its rehabilitation and reintegration goals.
The projects and vehicles being commissioned are part of the priority projects being undertaken in prison formations across the Federation with a view to enhancing effectiveness and efficiency in the area of service delivery.
And in the end, for Jafaru Ahmed, the legacy will not only be the physical projects, but the lives of inmates, which ultimately get better. In Abuja, Victor Azu, NTA News.
Ghana, Cote d'Ivoire and Gambia are enjoying relative peace in the ECOWAS sub-region. Joseph Orok reports that this were the views of members of parliament who represented their countries and presented the report to the ordinary session of the sub-region legislature in Abuja.
In line with the ECOWAS protocols promoting peaceful coexistence and integration of the people of the sub-region, Ghana and Cote d'Ivoire reports points to a relative very low index of crime rates and security in the countries. Ghana, according to the Member of Parliament from that country, will by 2020 have its citizens living abroad to vote in its main election. This is because the National Electoral Commission of the country has instituted country representation of the People's Amendment Act passed into law 12 years ago. On the other hand, Côte d'Ivoire has dissolved its National Election Commission and have improved its security index in recent times. The country Member of Parliament further says Côte d'Ivoire has also recently ratified the African Free Trade Agreement.
The signing of the amnesty decree by the President has boosted the rate of voluntary return. As we speak, majority of Ivorian exiles have returned to the country.
During the period, the Parliament of Ghana in March 2019 passed the Right to Information Bill into law. This will give the media and the people of Ghana unfettered access to information from public institutions.
For Gambia, the security situation is also said to be improving with several reforms to reposition the country.
The security situation in the Gambia continues to improve. The economic forces continue to play an important role by ensuring peace and safety of all citizens.
Do the country's reports attracted comments from members of parliaments? Other ECOWAS countries are to present their reports before the parliaments in due course. In Abuja, Joseph Orok, NTA News.
Nigeria and Angola have agreed to increase cooperation in areas of trade, investment, security and economic diversification. This followed the meeting between Nigeria's Foreign Affairs Minister Geoffrey Onyema and his Angolan counterpart Manuel Augusto in Abuja. Foreign Desk correspondent Makud Simon Macha reports.
30 years ago, the path of Geoffrey Onyema and Dominos Augusto crossed while they were young diplomats representing their countries abroad. Today, they are meeting in Abuja as foreign ministers representing their countries at the highest level of diplomacy. The center of their conversation is all about improving relations between Nigeria and Angola, two African oil giants who are facing similar economic challenges. After a closed-door meeting, the two ministers emerged to sign a memorandum of understanding that talks about convening the Nigeria-Angola Joint Commission to consolidate on areas of mutual interest.
This is a reflection of your visit here, of the close cooperation between our two countries that have a lot in common. Big oil-producing countries and rich in other mineral resources. And great potential, but at the moment, of course, facing economic challenges and the need for economic diversification.
So we must give content to this instrument of strengthening our bilateral relations.
They also resolved to follow up on the bilateral air service agreement signed recently between the two countries. In Abuja, Makud Simon Macham, NTA News.
Nigeria is now promoting smart initiatives in the country, basically to grow smart-enabled resources and build a vibrant smart data economy. In line with this objective, the National Information Technology Development Agency, NITDA, is now creating an enabling environment to support a variety of self-grown smart innovations from the Nigeria Smart Initiative Policy Framework, now presented for stakeholders' engagement. Justin Bem reports.
It is believed that Nigeria cannot rely on meeting her national vision on sustainable economic development through the conventional policies, approaches and tools. Consequently, relevant stakeholders are of the opinion that the nation needs to make the best use of her innovative potential through a well-thought-out Nigeria Smart Policy Framework for promoting smart initiatives.
The future of the world economy.
The experts are now saying the development and use of smart solutions and applications are capable of increasingly creating unimaginable values and disrupting every aspect of society with innovations that improve human existence.
Smart initiatives is all about digital economy.
For the federal government, the imperative here is that Nigeria cannot continue to run a catching-up race in this critical sector.
And the wisdom behind coming up with this framework is to make sure that, first and foremost, we provide a platform for research and development in smart initiatives, in addition to creating awareness.
There is a call now that supporting the development of smart initiatives is very important in Nigeria, especially to those in the technology industry. And there is a desire to see homegrown smart initiatives become an integral part of Nigerian development agenda. This is in helping the society to be more responsive to social needs in critical sectors such as security, environment, health, and education. In Abuja, Justin Bem-Unyi, NTA News.
Asia's bordering an action plan on women, peace and security towards reducing the suffering of the vulnerable population in conflict situation took the center stage of discussion between Benue State and the Norwegian government representatives. This was during a visit by the deputy head of mission Norwegian Embassy Abuja, Nigeria, to the Deputy Governor of Benue State, Benson Abono, at the Government House in Makurdi. Ben Aya reports.
Over time, Benue State has been in the news due to security challenges that have led to the loss of lives and displacement of many. Studies have shown that when these crises occur, women and children are the worst hit. It is to mitigate the hardship conflicts have on these vulnerable population that the Norwegian government seeks to partner the Benue State government in a pilot program that will involve 4 local government areas spread across the 3 senatorial zones in Benue State.
We are so pleased to be here and looking very much forward to the collaboration on this moving on further.
State Deputy Governor Benson Abono commended the efforts of the government and people of Norway towards the peace and security of the state and pledged a determination of the state government to be dedicated to the project. The state deputy governor decried the humanitarian situation facing many communities in the state, occasioned by sustained attacks by gunmen, and called on the international community to assist the state in finding lasting peace.
It's a novel idea that you are getting women to get involved, actively involved in shaping the security situation of their own country.
In Makurdi, Bem Hanya, NTA News.
The promotion of political stability and equity in governance by the Nigerian Television Authority is being cherished by Women Governance, a non-governmental organization. It is on this light that Women in Governance now solicit NT's support in propagating women inclusiveness in politics. Rachel Shaibu tells us more.
Women made up 47% of registered voters in the 2019 general elections, but only 8% were cleared to vie for electoral positions during the polls. This has become worrisome and a source of concern to gender activists within and outside the country. This group of women came to NTA to talk about the Pandora box women are sitting on in politics and to seek support to ensure that Nigeria attains her rightful position in the League of Nations through gender equity and respect for women and girls.
So this is the right time to start talking about it. We can't be moving backward at a speed and not talking about it and sitting down thinking it will be okay. We need to start talking about the future of our girl child, the future of our society today.
Executive Director Finance Fatima Bada says NTA is a gender-friendly organization and is ready to support any effort geared towards gender equality.
We as a media organization, we are ready to go all the way to support you. Give you the necessary support, in terms of dissemination and taking it as far as all the nooks and crannies of Nigeria.
Records have shown that women in leadership positions have demonstrated quality skills, discipline, and strength in carrying out their duties for the development of Nigeria. In Abuja, Rachel Shaibu, NTA News.
The danger of scooping spilled fuel is one of the updates we'll be getting from our Enugu Network Center, and Comfort is our guide. Hello, Comfort.
Thank you, Kende, and welcome to Enugu. Enugu State Governor Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi has approved the construction of 2 model customary courts for each of the 17 local government areas of the state. He made the disclosure during the swearing-in of the 3 High Court judges and of Appeal judge, following their recommendations by the National Judicial Council, NJC. Chika Ugu completes the report.
Governor Ugwuanyi pointed out that his administration has reached many milestones in its continual efforts to reposition the state's judiciary for more efficient service, especially through the provision of suitable infrastructure and essential tools and equipment. The governor also disclosed that renovation work has commenced at the state judiciary headquarters, among other interventions, expressing optimism that those measures, coupled with the appointment of new judges, would help to enhance the efficient administration and speedy dispensation of justice in Enugu State.
I'm glad to state that we have reached many milestones in this regard, and the more prominent of them include the construction of the brand new customary court of appeal headquarters and the construction of the High Court complex at the Nsukka Judicial Division, construction of 14 new court buildings and open registries for judicial division and managerial districts across the 3 senatorial zones in the state.
The new High Court judges who were sworn in at the ESCO chambers of the Government House, Enugu State, included Justice Chinedu Ezugu, Chinwike Obunabo, and Matt. While Justice Nnenna Cecilia Madu was sworn in as a judge of the customary court of appeal. Governor Ugwuanyi said the action was in compliance with Section 271, subsection 2 of the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended, which provides that the appointment of a judge of the High Court of a state shall be made by the governor acting on the recommendation of the NJC. In Enugu, Chika Ugu, NTA News.
Enugu State House of Assembly has adopted a uniformed House Standing Order as a fair working document for all the houses of assembly in Southeast. Ijeoma Ugwoke has the details of the House proceedings.
The need to harmonize the legislative business in the 5 houses of assembly in the Southeast formed the basis of the inauguration of the Committee on Legislative and Governance Reform. The chairman of the committee and leader, Enugu State House of Assembly, Ikechukwu Ezubu, while presenting the report of the committee for adoption, stressed that the legislative institution requires serious reform in order to function more effectively, unite and develop the zone.
The uniform standing order presented before us and adopted as a working document.
Some of the agreed priority, according to the committee chairman, are House of Assembly Service Commission, Uniform Standing Order, Self-Assessment and Constituency Engagement. Others are generic oversight functions, periodic peer review and exchange programs, collaboration with the media and capacity building. The Speaker, Enugu State House of Assembly, after the adoption of the report, congratulated the committee for a job well done.
From House Standing Order, the House of Assembly. Those that will say ayes. Those that can say nay. The ayes have it.
The Uniform House Standing Order for Southeast Houses of Assembly after adoption takes effect from 20 June 2019. In Enugu, Ijeoma Ugwoke, NTA News.
There are rising incidents of Nigerians who resort to scooping of fuel from accidental tankers for gains. What is the fate of such people and the way out? Francis Okbala has been speaking with experts in Enugu.
Has become a common sight for people to take advantage of incidents of accidented tankers carrying fuel. Many a time, you see a moment crowd of people scooping fuel from the scene of the incident. One of the cases that made national news Jesse in Delta State, where a whole community was literally razed down in 1998 when indigenes turned the scene of a broken fuel pipe to a business venue where they sell the fuel that was spilled in the accident. Despite the calamity that occurred during the incident, there are several reports over the years of citizens still engaging in the act.
Anything can happen. Anything like catching fire or even motor having an accident can occur, so it's not proper.
The oil that fell is being owned by someone or a station, so the act of vandalization is illegal by scooping the oil.
Experts advise that being around a spilled fuel or an accidented fuel tanker is dangerous as it is highly inflammable.
If there is any fire outbreak, the fire will go with the passage or the pathway created by that running fuel that is falling out from a fuel tanker.
Experts warn that government or owners of the accidented tankers that resort to fuel spillage can never be held responsible or accountable for any damage or death resulting from scooping, as inferno resulting from activities of an accidented tanker is classified as disaster in Enugu. Frances Obala, NTA News.
And that's our contribution from Enugu. Is back to Kende in Abuja for more on Nationwide. Good afternoon.
Thank you, Comfort. And we'll take a short break now. More news when we return. Don't go away.
When you think about hospitality and affordable luxury away from home, then you talk about Sharon Ultimate Hotels, a secured and serene environment that offers kingly services such as 24-hour room service, impeccable security with CCTV surveillance, parking lots, free Wi-Fi internet service, free complimentary breakfast, restaurants that offers continental and local dishes, well-equipped fitness center with instructors, swimming pool, 350 capacity multi-purpose hall, laundry service, pastry corner, mini-mart, and our suites are breathtaking. For reservation, locate us at plot 1710, Tafawa Balewa Way, Area 3, Garikia, Abuja. Sharon Ultimate Hotels, the ultimate place.
Do you desire to improve your grammar and sharpen your pronunciation skills? If your answer is yes, then you need to attend a special 4-week course on English Grammar and Pronunciation for Broadcasters organized by NTA Television College, Jos. The course will expose participants to the nitty-gritty of English grammar and usage, which will enable them speak fluently and write as well as edit scripts flawlessly. Journalists, presenters, scriptwriters, television and radio news editors, secretaries, masters of ceremonies, and hosts of live events will find the course highly beneficial. Date, 13th May to 7th June 2019. Venue, NTA Television College, Rayfield, Jos. Course fee, 100,000 Naira per participant. Accommodation inclusive. For more inquiries, please call 0803 3144 383 or 0806 9809 807. You can also visit our website on www.ntatvc.com. NTA Television College, Jos, training you to be the best you want to be.
These days, people get their news and information from more media sources than ever before. Some of the news and information given are fake, unverified, doctored, and manufactured to create confusion, stir disaffection, and cause disunity. Before you believe or share any news, ask yourself, is this real? Is it from a credible source? Is it verified or verifiable? Fake news is dangerous, whether you do it for fun or for political gains. Real people can get hurt. Fake news, don't create it, don't spread it.
This is a public service announcement from NTA. Get the latest news and updates from across Nigeria on NTA Nationwide. NTA Nationwide, weekdays by 4 p.m. Get it first, get it fresh.
thank you for being there. The Federal Road Safety Corps is synergizing with the Nigerian Army War College in order to create a better path for a safe and secure Nigeria. This was during the visit of the Nigerian War College participant of Course 3 2019 to the FRSC headquarters in Abuja. Oyeyemi Ajayi has details.
This is not a raid, but an unusual visit of participants of the Nigerian Army War College from different military and paramilitary formations, including those from other countries like Cameroon. Expectedly, the visit is to further synergize relationship between the Federal Safety Corps and the Nigerian War College, but more importantly, is a desire to foster better working relations through exchange of notes.
And of course, joint training that we have going between, of course, us and you, having your personnel with us, will, of course, improve synergy in a multi-agency and joint environment. We have actually been treated to so much this day, and I can tell you that learning has actually occurred.
So we want to appreciate you, so that next year another group will also come.
With questions from the 66 participants on how the Corps has achieved major milestones, it becomes clear that there is the need for better cooperation amongst military and paramilitary agencies in order to have better output. In Abuja, Oyeyemi Ajayi, NTA News.
The 18th Director General of the National Youth Service Corps NYSC, Brigadier General Shuaibu Ibrahim, has taken over from Major General Suleiman Kazauri with a promise to sustain effective utilization of the potential of youth corps members, as well as pursue a technologically driven organization. Olayinka Ojo reports.
He became the 17th headship of the NYSC in April 2016. As a Brigadier General, but he is leaving as a Major General to the Nigerian Army Resource Center, Abuja. Major General Suleiman Kazauri is the first Director General of the NYSC to head the scheme as a Major General. His stewardship in the last 3 years was hinged on focal areas of enhanced welfare, security of corps members, and expanding the SAID program of the NYSC. Now it is time to say goodbye, and Major General Kazauri appreciates the staff and management.
As the new Director General takes over today, I enjoin you to accord him the same level of cooperation and support.
The new NYSC Director General, Brigadier General Shuaibu Ibrahim, acknowledged the successes of his predecessor and thanked the government for finding him worthy to steer the ship of the more than 45 years old scheme. He promised to ensure that the ideals of the NYSC are further pursued, as well as consolidate on the achievements of his predecessors.
Short malpractices and corruption, teamwork and fairness to all will be my watchword.
Brigadier General Shuaibu Ibrahim, who is a former registrar, Army University Bu, Borno State, hails from Nasarawa local government area of Nasarawa State. Brigadier General Shuaibu Ibrahim, the 18th Chief Executive of the NYSC, now on his second sojourn, was the military assistant to Brigadier General Dule when he was the Director General of the NYSC between 1996 and 1998. In Abuja, Olayinka Ojo, NTA News.
And out to judiciary matters, 4 interlocutory appeals filed by Justice Walter Ononge during the tendency of his trial at the Code of Conduct Tribunal have all been struck out by the Court of Appeal sitting in Abuja. Judiciary correspondent Femi Okewo reports.
In order to put these 4 interlocutory appeals in their proper context, one would have to go back in time to the various pronouncements and activities during the trial of Justice Walter Ononge at the Code of Conduct Tribunal. For each pronouncement made by the Code of Conduct Tribunal from the 14th of January, when the 6-count charge were filed against Justice Walter Ononge, the legal team of the SY Chief Justice of Nigeria filed interlocutory appeals. First to be determined by the 3-member Court of Appeal panel led by Justice Stephen Ada was the ex parte order of the 23rd of January, which asked Justice Walter Ononge to stand aside as the Chief Justice of Nigeria. For that, the court said it was a spent appeal already overtaken by events, even though the court agreed that the processes of securing the ex parte order raised fundamental questions. The Court of Appeal said delving into the propriety of the order would also interfere with the substantive appeal, which was still before the Court of Appeal. The next interlocutory appeal was the bench warrant issued by the Code of Conduct Tribunal, which was actually never executed, and as such was also struck out too. On the orders of the Federal High Court, National Industrial Court, and the FCT High Court, which ordered the CCT to stay proceedings pending determination of some matters before the courts, the Court of Appeal said, in the light of the provisions of the Administration of Criminal Justice Act, criminal trials were not meant to be stayed in order not to cause a delay in criminal trials. The Court of Appeal, however, frowned at the tribunal sitting as an appellate court over the orders of Federal High Court, National Industrial Court, and the FCT High Court. Now, with the interlocutory appeals done with, what is left is now for the Court of Appeal to determine the main appeal coming from the main judgment of the Code of Conduct Tribunal over Justice Walter Onogen, and that will be determined as soon as arguments are taken before the Court of Appeal. In Abuja, Femi Okewo, NTA News.
In also education, Nigerian researchers have again expressed confidence in their ability to solve contemporary and emerging problems if provided with conducive environment to work. This was expressed at a briefing by Academic Staff Union of Nigerian Research Institution in Abuja, where they urged President Muhammadu Buhari to sign the National Innovation Council Bill 2019 into law. Abdullahi Musa Suleja reports.
There is no nation that has developed without leveraging on science and technology with research as the driving force. With more than 150 research and development institutions and centers as well as universities, Nigeria, many believe, should have been better than how it is today if these institutions operate as required. Despite reviewing the national policy on science and technology initiated in 1966 13 times, there seems to be little impact. The belief of Nigerian researchers in their ability to do better led to the passage of the National Innovation Council Bill 2019, which is awaiting presidential assent.
Research and training activities are self-funded by researchers because they must acquire higher degrees and produce research publications before they can be promoted at every stage of their careers. This bill provides for the institutional research and training funding mechanism and infrastructural development for research and development institutions in Nigeria.
There are, however, differences between researches carried out by the institutions and those in universities.
The concept of academic freedom allows lecturers free choice of research endeavors, which oftentimes are not targeted at the development needs of the nation. In research institutions, the research mandates and development objectives are well defined and focused.
With the grey areas pointed out by the executive addressed, the union hopes assent to the bill will come to pass in the near future. Abdullahi Musa Suleja, NTA News.
Chairman of the Diaspora Commission, Abike Dabiri-Rewa, says the commission will work closely with Nigerians around the world to encourage investment back home, as well as facilitate foreign direct investment into the country. Abike Dabiri was speaking when she met a group of Nigerians from Canada. Foreign desk correspondent Makut Simon Macham reports.
This group of Nigerians in Canada is passionate about Nigeria and wants to do everything possible to attract investment by foreigners and Nigerians alike. Their meeting with the chairman of the Diaspora Commission, Abike Dabiri-Rewa, is in anticipation of positive results.
It's our pride that we want to encourage a lot of investment coming to Nigeria. And the best way we in diaspora can do this is by organizing this type of investment summit.
Mr. President has created a commission that we have been acting for over the years, and we have our sister as the chairman. So she will guide us how to go about it, how to get government support.
We want to see reality. Yeah. We want to see investments coming back to Nigeria. Those who participated in our summit last time, some of them have stayed back. A lot have gone into agriculture.
Meanwhile, the chairman of the Diaspora Commission has also met with veteran film producer Wale Adenuga on how to generate content that can project Nigerians doing great things around the world.
These days we see a lot of negative news flying around about Nigeria.
It's time to put an end to it. The only way you can fight such negative news is by producing positive news about Nigeria. We have Nigeria doing beautifully well abroad.
In Abuja, Makut Simon Macham, NTA News.
And out to sport. Third Chief of Defense Staff Marathon logo unveiled in Abuja as Nigeria Aquatic Federation's plans to train young swimmers for tomorrow's glory. Let's join Tamara Ibiye for details.